2, 3, 4. Dan the Caveman. Dan the Caveman. Dan the Caveman.
This is gonna haunt you for life.
Dan the Caveman. Dan the Caveman. Dan the Caveman.
So awful.
Dan the Caveman. Dan the Caveman. Dan the Caveman. Dan the Caveman.
Why laughing, man?
Oh my god. So was that 11 years ago? That was junior year, right? High school?
I don't know.
It's like 2007 when it was
27, 28
uploaded.
now. It's probably close to 10 years, yeah.
And that was for Dash and Paul's chemistry thing.
I don't even know how we
Friends
got
Dash
into
and Paul,
that.
they went to a different school. And literally in high school, whenever we had papers or anything, we just make stupid fucking videos and not learn anything. And the content was just absolutely nothing. They got a B+ on that. It had nothing to do with anything. We just Googled everything and read it all. I don't remember where the caveman thing came from.
Yeah, I don't know. Carbon dating.
Carbon dating? I don't even know what that is still.
Yeah, I don't know. There's like 10 minutes of content and I have no idea what it meant, but somehow it turned into me wearing a loincloth and running around like an idiot.
Not that many people have a theme song, so it's pretty cool.
How did I get chosen to be the guy? I don't know.
You were the guy for everything.
Yeah, I think it had to do with just already ongoing thing of being naked. So, wearing a loincloth seemed pretty conservative, I guess.
I remember 3 distinct times. I don't know if I'm forgetting any. But the drive-thru where you'd lay on the top of the car. We would go into the drive-thru and order food while you're naked on the car. Was that all pre-18? I hope.
Yeah, that was definitely before being 18. Because I remember my dad. I don't know how my dad found out about it, but he was like seriously concerned. Just like there's some sort of this isn't normal. Like you've been naked multiple times doing random acts. Like it's not normal. I must have told him, or I don't know how he found out, but it was enough to where he was concerned. He was like, "This isn't normal." So
We may have been over at your house and then told your dad, and I can imagine that happening.
but it was definitely pre-18 because he's like, if you're doing this after you're 18, you're gonna be like considered a rapist and you're going to jail.
So the one time we went to Taco Bell, it was me and Paul. Was that the first one?
It was a Nick Taps Volvo wagon.
Me, Paul, Nick, and you, I think. And that was like the flip phone age. And I remember I wasn't in the car. I was around the corner filming on this tiny little flip phone, Nokia or something like that. And you pull up and you're just laying there like a fresh meat, like a fresh kill, like a deer or something on the roof.
It was really cold out. It was like it was under freezing because there was frost on the roof. And I was butt ass naked on top of this Volvo wagon, and we're going through the drive-thru. We order whatever we're ordering, and then get to the window, and of course they start laughing, and I had like major shrinkage, I think.
The only thing I remember from the video, I only remember it because we watched the video so many times. But the guy's like there was a girl at the thing. She went and got her like manager or something. He came up and they were all laughing. And he's like, "There's shrinkage involved."
Yeah, that's what he said. The shrinkage involved.
Oh my god!
On top of the car, and I think they gave us a bunch of free twists, or I don't know if they gave us.
Oh yeah, they gave us free food for doing that for some reason.
They gave us something free, and then yeah, it was super funny. And then we drove off, and for me to put my clothes back on,
you had to get out of the car.
And then you guys drove off.
No, we drove you over to this like big bush.
Yeah,
it was like in a Bi-Mart parking lot. And wait, so you didn't have your clothes because you were still butt naked. I don't know. You got out of the car and we still had your clothes or something.
Yeah, and so you drove off.
Yeah, and so we drove
We're just
off.
driving around the parking lot.
And you were chasing us for a while.
Shoes.
And then you realized you were running around naked in public. And so you ran back to the bush. And then we did it multiple times. We came back and we're like, "All right, Dan, here's your clothes. Come over here." And you're like, "Don't do it again." You came out and then we drove off again. And then you called us on the phone. You refused to come out of the bush until we gave you your clothes. Oh my god, that was really funny. And then
This is the same night.
for some reason, Nick Tapp was the guy. He was the driver.
That's when we went to Burger King. It was just too
We did
good
that
to be
the same
true.
day?
I think it was the same.
I don't think it was the same day. I think it was like.
But it was in his wagon
It was
again.
like a couple weekends later when we did it.
I can't remember, but
Yeah, it was. I think you had too much for that day because we were ditching you and everything. You wouldn't have done it again.
regardless, the next time we did it, we went to Burger King and did the whole act, like got naked and got on top of the car, went to the drive-thru, and then they were
And they
closed.
were laughing. And,
No,
they
they
were
were
closed.
That was when
And
they
then,
were closed.
and then we pulled out. Nick pulled out.
Yeah, so
and
I got the
turned.
very back of the Volvo, and we drive away, and then we get
And we
pulled
get pulled
over.
And you're just naked in the
So
back
I'm
of it.
butt ass naked, still in the very back of the car. And the cop, I don't know if the cop saw me or he had to have seen me.
No,
How couldn't
he
he?
had to have seen you because
Because there's lights and I'm just sitting in the very back of a Volvo.
he walked up and he's like, license, registration, and everything, and just completely ignored you. But he saw you. He had to have seen you. You were just covered up with like your green jacket or whatever. And then he came back. He's like, yeah, just counting seat belts. How many seat belts are in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And it was me, Paul, Dash, Nick Tapp. So when he's like, that's 4. And then you were in the back. So I think the only reason we didn't get in trouble is because there wasn't 6 people in there. But he's like, yeah, you didn't use your turn signal. You're free to go. And he just didn't say anything about you being naked in the back.
That was super awkward.
And then, I don't know, it must have been months later. You were turning 18 soon. And we wanted to raise the stakes on this whole thing. Oh my
I have no
god!
idea how I got talked into this.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
like
know how,
way too
okay, I was hoping you
manipulative.
remember how we talked you into it because I can't really remember. But you didn't want to do it. We're like, come on, dude, let's just drive downtown, and we'll talk about it down there. And you're like, we convinced you to get in the car, and we drove down to the plaza. This was in Ashland. We're standing by this bush. We're like, just get naked. Just do it, dude. It's gonna be funny. And it was like 5 o'clock.
So yeah,
And there was
a ton
hundreds of people.
everywhere.
Yeah, like kids, old ladies.
And the plaza is
everybody.
like it's like the popular area of Ashland. It's probably like,
It
what
must
did
have
I
been.
walk? I walked maybe like an 1/8 mile or quarter mile. That's like a pretty long strip.
It must have been like a tourist, like the tourist season.
I think it was in the
'cause there
summertime. I can't remember.
But it took like 45 minutes for us to convince you. And then suddenly you were behind the bush. You got butt naked, and you just grabbed a twig, and you were
It
gonna,
was just
you
like
were
a
gonna act
random.
like you
It
were
was a stick
blind.
long enough to kind of pretend it was like a walking stick for a blind person.
And yeah, was this before this? No, this was Jackass was before this. So it was
Yeah, I don't
probably
think that's all
inspired
this
by
stuff.
something like
yeah,
that.
definitely Jackass inspired.
That's when it
us
was like
some.
super popular, but it was before the iPhone, luckily. Otherwise, there would be hundreds of
Oh my
videos. But you were a champ. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. You just butt naked, no socks or shoes or anything. And just, you were staring just straight ahead. And
Yeah,
you,
my eyes like pretty much closed, so I could kind of see in front of me. But I could still see people laughing, like just like random like moms and
I remember
dads
this,
and kids and
this
stuff.
little
Everyone just
like
laughing.
8-year-old chubby kid just thought it was the funniest thing, and he was following you and just laughing. And he's like, "There's a naked guy," and he was just running around you.
Oh my god.
And then yeah, we hopped in the car and got out of there because I guarantee somebody called the cops.
Yeah. That was... And then I think the final
man.
one was just that we were filming it. Like I think we tried a couple different attempts, but it was at like dusk. There's a guy who had a rope swing in his front yard, and so I
Final one. Oh my God.
I went and doorbell dish jumped, and then went and jumped on his
That was
swing
MTV.
again, butt ass naked, just swinging in his swing.
Oh,
he opens
yeah.
the door, looks out, and then
you
just goes
just
back
run
in
off.
and closes her eye, run off or something. Yeah.
We have. There's a video I filmed that on like that VHS tape video camera.
Oh yeah, it's on a camcorder.
Yeah, I have
somewhere.
that at home. Somewhere. It's on one of the tapes somewhere. That's so funny.
But yeah, I think that was the final end of it.
That must have been it. And then you turned 18 and you could have been a like child molester. So
It's a little bit excessive, yeah. This whole naked spree.
and then, dude, we were animals. The trash can bandits.
So let's talk about the trash can bandits.
That's like one of my. There's no. You can't explain how joyous it was.
Oh, this is a good side note to this. Like, we didn't really do drugs or alcohol or anything like
None
that.
of us ever really
We were like
did.
completely sober, so all these shenanigans were like the biggest highs in the world
Yeah.
because we didn't have anything else to do.
We
So
never drank or smoked weed. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. As soon as I graduated high school, then I finally smoked weed. But anyways, so this whole trash can thing, we're driving.
I had this old '85 Chevy S10 pickup, and the bumper was made of like solid steel, so we could hit anything we wanted. And we would hit a trash can, and the thing would just go flying, and trash would just be sprinkled across these people's yards like confetti.
I don't even know how the very first one started. Just randomly like swerved into it.
I think it started with me and Nick Tapp were driving in the truck, and I just decided to. I was feeling it, and I hit a trash can. It was just the funniest thing in the world. So we just.
No, I thought it was just you, me, and Paul. Maybe
Me and Nick
there.
Tapp me and Nick Tapp were like we hit one, and then me, you, and Paul just got
Again.
crazy with it.
It was trash day in the Quiet Village, so just you hit another. I think it was the recycling bins are the best because it's just like loose paper and bottles and stuff.
Oh my god!
And they just explode like a volcano and stuff
There
all over
was
the
just one
person's
day
yard.
where it wasn't just QV. We went everywhere. In
It was everywhere.
We literally went like from the south exit to the north exit, hitting
there were
trash
trash
cans
cans out.
everywhere. And we had people like who saw us and chased us and stuff, but we ended up like
Well, the
was
final one ended on Clay Street because
I lost a mirror.
there was like a line of probably 5-6 big recycling bins in a row.
And it just looked like there was one.
Yeah, and so you like blew into these, and it was catastrophic. I'm pretty sure it did bend your bumper and it ripped off your passenger side mirror.
Dude, the mirror hit my window and cracked the window that rolls up and down.
And the mirror blew off.
And the bumper, that steel bumper, dented. And we all got rocked. We hit it and we were like bouncing around.
So by that point, you were pretty pissed.
No, I was just scared because the mirror fell off. I have a truck with no mirror. And we were in the paper and they called us the trash can bandits.
So anyways, we go back to drop off Josh's truck because he's kind of frustrated about his mirror. We have to go find his mirror. And so we go and get in Paul's mom's Subaru. We're driving back over there and we drive by and there's cops.
A bunch of cops over there.
And so we go and park like, I don't know where we park, like a street away or something. And then we just walking up the street. Like we get
Looking
to
for the mirror?
Then we get to the point where the trash cans are. And there's a cop like, what are you guys up to? Oh, we're just going for a walk. And then,
Oh, wait. We have to roll back because there was that kid.
Oh, no,
With the stick.
oh, okay. Okay, so when we did this, after we drove by again in the truck, there was this guy, like almost like Dan the Caveman. I could have sworn he was in his underwear or something. But he was like butt naked in his underwear and had a
had a
spear,
stick.
like a
He had
big,
like
it was
a-
like a big old stick or a staff or something.
God knows what.
And he was standing out next to his trash can. And his trash can was one of those like tin metal trash cans, and so it's not like a plastic one that's kind of still holding its whole form. This thing is just like totally crumpled. He's standing next to his crumpled trash can, just so livid. Anyway, so that was the end of it. Anyway, so back to walking up the street.
He like came out in the street and he was like waving his stick and he's like, "Come back here," or something like that.
pissed.
Yeah, but he was years younger. Anyway, we were walking up
He
the
was probably
street.
the one that called the cops.
Guaranteed.
So and then when we were talking to those cops, the guy was like, "Have you guys seen He looks down at his cop like notebook in
Old style truck in quotations. So the only thing that kid could muster up was it was an old style truck. Like, no,
I can see one from here. Like there's half the trucks in Ashton are old style trucks.
Sorry, I haven't seen one.
so-
Have you seen a mirror? No, I never found that mirror.
Yeah, so we like really lightly looked since there was a cop there and didn't see the mirror, and then went and got back in Paul's Subaru, his mom's Subaru.
And then that's when I stopped doing it in the truck.
Yeah, we were just done with it. But Paul couldn't get enough.
Paul couldn't get it up. He was addicted to it.
So we went back up like above the boulevard on, I can't remember what street that was. And we were like blasting down the road. And he's like, oh, I'm just going to do one or whatever. And swerves into a trash can. And like, I'm pretty sure it was like one of the recycling bins for wood and
It must have been
stuff.
fall. There was a huge amount of leaves. And then the recycling bin in the amount of leaves. I think what happened was there was cinder blocks under the leaves.
What? Yeah, well, something. It was just
And he
a blip.
drove over the cinder blocks, and we fucked up his mom's car. We're like,
The engine instantly shut off.
yeah, we were like,
Wouldn't start again. It was just totally like screwed it up bad.
Paul. Yeah,
And luckily there was a
"You're
car place at
busted.
the bottom of the street, so we just rolled down to the bottom of the street
left a
and
note.
just left it there.
Please help.
And how did we get back? Did we like call my dad or something? Or
I think we got a ride from like Nash. I don't know.
Nash,
We got a
Nash
ride.
never got his license until he's 21, so it probably wasn't
We got a
him.
ride from somebody.
I don't know who would give us a ride, but
And then, dude, the way Paul, I hope Paul's parents never listen to this. I didn't even think about that. The way Paul explained it was like, yeah, I don't know what happened. We were just driving along and the car shut off. And there's just like, oh, okay, Paul. And they fixed it. And it was just like, what the fuck?
yeah, the engine died and it also ruined the bumper somehow.
Yeah. Oh, man. So, are you still a mechanic for helicopters?
Yep.
I've been seeing on your Snapchat, every time a helicopter's about to land, you just like going nuts.
Yeah,
filming the
I've been toning
helicopter.
back.
How do you go from Dan the Caveman to a helicopter mechanic? How does
So-
that happen?
I did.
Something in high school. I knew I didn't want to go to college. I'd already been burnt out from papers and all that stuff. So
Videos, you mean?
video. Anyway, so I decided to be an auto mechanic. Did that whole process. And
Through
then
who was it again?
Universal Technical Institute, also
UTI?
known as UTI.
Okay.
Urinary tract infection.
Yeah. Okay.
And then so I worked for BMW. I went through their whole program. If you do good in school, like whatever manufacturer you choose picks you up, do all these tests and stuff. So BMW picked me up. They paid for me through all my schooling and whatnot to work for them. I worked for them for a little while and then kind of got burnt out. And then moved back to Ashland, Oregon and started growing weed.
How'd you get into weed again? You just smoked it like Marty convinced you?
Oh yeah, so let's just jump back. So it was only because I was talking to Marty a couple months ago. I couldn't remember how I actually started smoking weed. It wasn't just Marty. It was, remember Paul had some old cookies or something.
No. We went. I remember this now, and I felt bad because I felt like I got you into weed and you just got addicted. Because we went. I cannot remember whose house it was. Like up,
Oh, it was Nick Tapp's. It was Nick Tapp's house.
Was it Nick Tapp's house? Oh
He
yeah,
had some
he had the
cookies.
cookies.
Yeah.
And there was a green, or it was like, I'm pretty sure they did it totally wrong because there were cookies with
There's
like
like nugs in
actual
there.
nuggets of weed in the cookies, and I think
And so
we both ate it.
somehow I had just been so against weed and alcohol my whole high school career, not career, whatever you call it. And then somehow just like, oh fuck it, and ate this cookie. And then so since I'd already jumped into the world of weed, of course I didn't feel it, but I was driving home and then saw Marty, and then he's like, "What are you up to?" I'm like, "Oh, I ate a cookie." He's like, "You want to go puff?" I'm like, "Might as well." And so we go up to his house, and then like he had this bubbler, this old bong bubbler thing. It was broken in half, so he kind of had to hold it all ghetto. It was my first time using a bubbler, like trying to use like the perk thing and hold this glass piece of shit together. And then smoked it, of course, and big old hit and started coughing my ass off. And anyway, so like 15 minutes later, I was just like having like an out of body experience almost. Just like, whoa, this is amazing. Just like totally like he started playing some cool music and I was just blown away because I'd been like the most sober kid up until 18.
The highest high you ever had was trash can hitting,
Yeah, that's why I was
or
so
getting
fun.
naked.
Or getting naked, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, I just got really high. And then I finally had to go because my dad was like, he probably called me because I didn't really text. I'd only had a cell phone for like a year or so. And he was just super pissed off that it was like almost midnight and I wasn't home. So then I'm wandering down to my car, just like trying to make sense of it all. Like, holy crap, I'm so high. I don't even know. I gotta drive. This is really out of control. Get back to my house, and then my dad starts lecturing me, and my eyes are like bright red, like so red. And he's like, "Why are your eyes so red?" I'm like, we were hot tubbing, and the chlorine got in my eyes, or something like that. And anyways, then he starts lecturing me how I was really late getting back home, and finally he stopped lecturing me after like half an hour. I go in my room, and the first thing I do is I go on my Apple computer and press Apple T on iTunes. And then that's when it brings up the iTunes visualizer.
Apple tea.
the like
Apple tea, okay.
And so it brings up like those crazy psychedelic visual things, and I just watched that for like an hour at least, probably, just because that's the first thing Marty's like, when you get home, go on iTunes, press Apple tea. It'll blow your mind. So
I feel like Marty's still like that. Like every time every time I met him, he was just like, it was as if he had smoked weed for the first time in his life.
yeah, he's just really out of it these days. But anyway, so that's how my whole weed thing started, and then never really stopped. I went to automotive school, and there were some funny times in automotive school where like my dad would come down. My dad's like the most sober, strict person. Doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't.
So
do
when
anything.
did your dad find out you smoked weed for the first time?
Well, he came down, and he found like I had this like double perk bubbler, and so he found it, and I'm like, no, I don't even know what that is. I had some friends over, like I don't know what that is, and so like I was getting like straight A's and like perfect attendance, all this stuff for automotive school. And he's like, well, it's obvious you're obviously not smoking because you're doing way too good if you were smoking. I'm like, yeah. And
that was way before weed was thought about being legalized.
Yeah,
like
there was
really
medical
faux
stuff,
pas.
but no, it was pretty. Yeah, he was really against it. And so, anyways, yeah, just I couldn't stop smoking weed. I'd go to school. I'd come home for lunch and smoke. But regardless, like I graduated UTI with like a 99% average. And I got a perfect attendance at work for never being late or never missing a day.
This isn't a commercial for smoking weed and going to school.
I know, but the weed really helped me. It allowed me to focus.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the whole funny thing, like my dad actually halfway through UTI, I was back home for Christmas or something. And he found my pipe in my little jar of weed and my lighter underneath my dresser because he was like vacuuming or something and found it.
There's no possible like way out of this one.
I don't know how he found it, but anyways, he did. And so then I come home and I go to like secretly get my stash from underneath the dresser and it's not there. I'm like, oh, I'm fucked. So
wait, so this was before high school or,
no,
you were just living with
like,
your dad down in Ashland? Okay.
No, this was like while I was going to UTI. Like I said, I came home for Christmas or something.
Oh, I see.
And so I just like bought an ounce. I just spent like $200 for an ounce.
Is that a lot?
Crazy, that's like crazy costs compared to now.
Oh, okay.
So then I look under my dresser and it's not there, and I'm like, oh shit, obviously my dad found it. So I go and talk to him about it. And he's like, oh, it's all flushed. Like, I destroyed it all. Like, you're fucked. Like, you're so fucked. You're in so much trouble. And so he got a sledgehammer. He shattered my bong with a sledgehammer. And then he's saying, oh, by the way, like, never hit a lighter with a sledgehammer. Because he was destroying everything with a sledgehammer. He also, like, he was so pissed off in the moment, he felt need, like, a purpose to, like, smash my lighter with a sledgehammer. All of a sudden it blew up.
Blew up on him?
And anyways, he flushed the rest of my weed. And then, so this is the next funny part. I've never really stolen in my life. Like, I don't steal. I don't really cheat people. But, my dad has a bunch of silver just because it's a good investment for silver. And so since he, like, screwed me over for $200 worth of weed, I stole $200 worth of dimes, silver dimes. So it was like 20 dimes or like 100 dimes or whatever. I don't know, whatever it was. It was a perfect amount of dimes to pay back the money I lost from my weed because I felt so gypped. I was like, I just spent my hard-earned money on this weed that would have lasted me a month. So I stole that much money in dimes. Which
So weed makes you steal.
Weed makes me steal. Just that was like the one time I've stolen. But anyways, so I went down to the local jeweler and got my $200 back and bought like another ounce of weed. And it's back in game. So
does your dad know about that?
I think I've told him most everything these days. Yeah, because it's entertaining now. Like 10 years later
Yeah.
and stuff. It's like doesn't really matter. I've told him about everything I've done, or he doesn't really seem to care. But
Okay. Just thinking if your dad listened to this, you'd be like, that fucker.
yeah, can't really get in trouble now. It's 10 years later. I was just a young boy then.
So then, from BMWs, you graduated.
Oh, yeah, so I was working at BMWs for a while up in Seattle. Kind of burned me out because working on cars sucks. They just flat rate. It's a system where you get paid for the job you do. So if you do like a brake job, it pays 2 hours. If you get done in an hour, you get paid for 2 hours even though you worked an hour. So other things, it works really shitty because if it takes longer than you actually expected, then you lose money. So then I started growing weed. Just one day, I was watching the show Weeds. The show Weeds on
I've seen
Netflix.
like 4 seasons.
It's a good show. And then I was just like, oh man, I should grow weed. I tried to grow weed once. I didn't really try. I just planted a seed and it like sprouted out of the ground and died because I had no idea what I was doing. So I bought some books off Amazon and then went all nuts and went to the grow store and bought all this stuff and had a little closet grow. And it was pretty awesome. Like I yielded quite a bit of weed. So I was like, fuck this. Like BMW is a joke. I'm going to go back to Oregon and grow a bunch of weed. So that's what I did.
BMW in Washington?
Seattle, Washington.
Okay.
So I moved back to Oregon. Started growing weed. Did like a crazy big operation with my friend's dad. He kind of fucked up, so we got in trouble. Got arrested.
Oh yeah.
And then stopped that. Was on probation for 2 years. I still grew weed during those 2 years because I didn't want to stop growing weed. And then I was finally just burnt out on life down in Ashland. And
Dude,
that
I was
all
burnt
over
out
with.
a long time ago.
Yeah, there's just lots of not much going on. So, anyways, then I started doing flight training for helicopters, and then
How does that happen? You went from BMWs to weed, and then you got into. I don't know anybody else who's ever gotten into like helicopters. So how the hell did that happen?
I just needed like a change of life. Just really burnt out. Yeah. So I just wanted to fly helicopters. I thought that would be a really cool idea.
You just hopped on Google.
I don't know. It just always seemed fun. Just
No,
like
I mean,
my dad's he used to have his pilot, or he still has his pilot's license. I guess it's not active, but he used to fly airplanes and stuff. So I thought it'd be fun to do helicopters because helicopters can land anywhere and stuff. So started flying helicopters, and then I was really burnt out on life, and so I just moved up here. It's like, oh fuck it, I'm done down there. I moved up here, and then they're like, oh, you worked on cars. You want to start working on helicopters? I'm like, okay.
What certification do you need to start flying? Because you were. I remember a long time ago I talked to you and you were like thinking about doing it commercially.
Yeah, so start flying. Like you have to get your private license. Then for most jobs, your instrument license, and then your commercial license. And you have to build up your hours from there, so you can become an instructor or other ways to build up your hours. But I kind of lost interest in that because I started working on helicopters and I realized that was actually a lot more enjoyable than cars. So I just kind of been doing that for the last 3 years. I obviously can't smoke anymore because I get drug tested and it's a federal job essentially. Yeah.
So you stopped?
Really, yeah.
Was it hard to stop?
No, I was way happier in life in general. So I stopped growing, or not growing. I just stopped growing. I stopped smoking.
You were happier because you stopped, or you happier?
Well, yeah, because like weed in general, then it just kind of made me a lazy person. Because for me, it kind of sucked me down, became lazy. But overall, I was a lot more happy just being in like a positive environment. Lots of cool people. Like most helicopter people are pretty cool. There's lots of rich people involved in it. So just the whole environment was way more positive in the cars and than just the weed
underground
weed society
weed
in Southern Oregon.
Yeah.
So I was way more stoked, and yeah, like I'd still like to smoke weed every once in a while, but I can't. So maybe someday it'll be federally legal. But until then,
So you're still working on on Snapchat? Lonnie doesn't have you on Snapchat. He's gonna add you.
yeah, I had like a real big Snapchat phase,
Dude,
like a year ago, and I've
you
kind
were
of
like hot on Snapchat. Dude, every Snapchat I watched from you, I was laughing so hard. I couldn't wait until you did another Snapchat. But now you like
yeah,
you
kind of just
gone
died down. Like it takes a lot of energy to Snapchat like, nonstop. Like you just have to be ready all the time for like whatever possible Snapchat. It takes a lot of energy. So I finally started dying down, and I'll like make little stupid Snapchats on the weekend, but I was making Snapchats at work, like doing ridiculous stuff, chucking things at people, like all this helicopter stuff, chucking things at people, just stuff that like. Finally, my boss was like the owner of the company is like, so I finally heard about your Snapchat stuff, and I really think you probably shouldn't be doing that at work. It's like don't want like the helicopter registration numbers and stuff being on Snapchat. He didn't really understand. It's not like it goes away after 24 hours, but
yeah, but people can screenshot.
Yeah, so whatever. Anyways, I kind of slowed down. I still do it, but it wasn't like I wasn't going all crazy for it. Just I was making Snapchats all day every day. So kind of slowed down doing that, but
so then recently I saw that you bought like what is it, a tractor?
So yeah, one of my impulse buys.
An impulse buy, like I think of impulse buy like, oh, I'm gonna get the Snickers standing in line, like impulse buy, I'm gonna buy a tractor.
So I in November of last year, so like however many months ago that is, 4 or 5 months ago, I bought a brand new John Deere tractor. It's pretty sweet. Did lots of research for like a week. What kind of tractor I wanted in. I really like the color green. Like green's my favorite color. So when it came down to it, like I just had to buy a John Deere tractor because I can't buy one of the other brands because they're not green. Even though John Deere is not necessarily the best, I bought a John Deere because it's green.
Was there like a purpose for like the tractor, or did you just literally buy a tractor because you felt like buying a tractor?
I don't know. Like when I was younger, probably up to the age of 13, 14, later than it should have lasted. Like I had a blast digging with trucks, just like toys in the backyard and dirt. Like I said, like never smoked weed. Some of my friends started smoking weed when they were like 12, from like California and other places. Like I was a young boy in the head till I was like 18. So yeah, digging in the dirt was a fucking blast. So just the idea of a tractor, just like, so step back to like when I had my whole major weed thing in Southern Oregon, I was up in the woods, and so we had excavators and big like earth moving equipment just around. So I always had so much fun just like drinking and smoking and stuff, just playing in the dirt. So this kind of reminded me of that. So just the idea of a tractor randomly. I think my friend Ben kind of motivated me to get a tractor. So yeah, I got a tractor. I just like, I'm going to go dig some dirt, and I want to buy a property of my own with a few acres eventually. So as opposed to the chicken before the egg, or the egg before the chicken, or whatever that phrase is, like I bought a tractor before having a house. And so now I just have a tractor. And
So you're renting that house you live in?
Yeah.
And you're just digging really deep holes in the
So
backyard?
it's pretty fun. Like yesterday, like I just kind of just hit me. I hadn't dug a hole for like a week or so I just had to go out in the backyard and dig a hole and stood in it and drank a beer and then filled in the hole.
I was talking to my friend Jabez like 3 days ago, and I was like, yeah, we're gonna have Dan the Caveman on the podcast, and he's like, what does he dig holes or something? Like, and I was like, actually, yeah. and he's like, what? You're lying. But he was just thinking about the movie Holes, and the guy's name is Caveman in the movie.
No way.
His nickname's Caveman, so
That's super funny.
yeah, it was completely random because you started digging holes a couple months ago.
Yeah, so I didn't have the backhoe attachment right away. I just had my tractor, a back scraper for it, and a lawnmower. Because I'm like planning on helping people out with their yards and stuff, or doing like making some side money. And that's not like I don't really need the side money, but it's like I want to use my tractor.
Let me see that card again. Oh my god.
So I made some business cards. I've been putting them everywhere.
So, what's the funniest place you put your cards? Like, I can imagine you walking around a parking lot, like just sticking them in windshields.
No, I've gone to like some weed growing shops and stuff. Just been like, hey, you mind if I put my cards here? Just figure some people need some tractor work. And they're like, I'll need tractor work. Yeah, that's okay. And I've got like this restaurants and stuff where they have little boards in places, like just lots of wine places. Just kind of plug one of my cards right into the bulletin board or whatever, or just like Wilco.
And you've gotten one gig.
Oh yeah, and I've had one successful $100 business day. Really made some serious dough. And then what's funny is though, as I'm leaving my very first job, my tire blows out on my trailer. So then it costs me more than $100 to replace my tire. So I actually haven't made any money. I'm probably like 25 grand in the hole, but that's not really my goal. Like this isn't my business. It's just a fun side thing. My tractor will pay for itself someday, but
Just went in and financed it.
yeah, John Deere's awesome. Little commercial John Deere, 0% financing for 7 years. So
Wow. Sweet. That's really good.
So might as well buy a tractor.
Yeah.
And I've done lots of random stuff with it, or in the like winter time, pulling people out of ditches because I live on a pretty steep hill, and I got some pretty beastly chains for my tractor, and I go and drive around pretty wasted, just pulling people out of ditches with my tractor.
Yeah, I've seen some of the Snapchats. Like those were so funny because we had that huge winter. Like I don't know how it was up here, but in Eugene when I still lived there, it was like an ice storm. There was no snow for a while. It was just only ice. And every tree in town broke in half. But
That's wild.
then I was going on Snapchat and looking at your videos, and you're just like screaming and like squealing while pulling people out. I was like, what the hell was going on?
I never made any money from that either. Like I was hoping to make like $10 or something from pulling someone out. And they'd be like, oh, no, I'll just wait for the tow truck, or oh, my son's gonna come pull me out. I was like, no. I just wanted to use my tractor. I'll do it for free then, or whatever. So go get my tractor and pull him out. And the best was this old lady was handicapped, and she was in like a Jeep or a Subaru SUV or some sort of SUV thing, Acura, and she was in a ditch, and she'd been there for like 3-4 hours waiting for a tow truck because like everyone was so fucked. The whole town was snowed in. And so she's just like 45-degree angle in a ditch, like just can't get out of her car because she's handicapped. And so I go and pull her out. This was like probably November. And finally, and at the very end of it, she got like my name and everything, my number. And then called like probably 2 or 3 months later, like it was last month, I think. Called and asked for my address. She's like, oh, I want to come drop something off for you. I'm like, okay. And so then I get home a little while later and there's like a loaf of bread on my doorstep. It was really nice. It was a nice loaf of bread. It was like banana bread with some cranberries in it or something.
Nice.
And then a week later, then she dropped off another loaf of bread. And that was her payment for pulling her out of the ditch.
Cool.
Yeah, really cool. It tasted good. It was a nice gesture. It's probably like a really old family recipe, but
That seemed fun. I was stuck at home, and since we had an ice storm and everything was breaking, the power line went down. I thought it was the power line, at least. It was the phone line.
It was the internet. Yeah,
or internet or whatever. But I wasn't going to risk it.
We were like jumping over it like it was going to electrocute us if we came anywhere close.
It was like drooped behind my car in the driveway. And I'm like, well, I'm stuck. And so I was stuck at home watching you like drive around in a tractor. I was like kind of jealous, actually.
Yeah, I'm super sad it's not snowing anymore, because it's like that's like literally the pinnacle of fun. Driving around kind of tipsy in a tractor, pulling people out.
Is that like the new trash can hitting?
Well, there's no shenanigans to it really, other than just driving around in a tractor chained up, pulling people out of a ditch. I didn't even get that many recoveries of people. Like probably like total of 3. I don't know. It wasn't enough. It was just I'm really craving it more, but it's not going to snow anymore. It doesn't seem like. I just want it to snow more.
Eventually, going to buy a house is going to be in like somewhere around here, Ashland, or
no, yeah, I'll probably stay up here. I'll buy a house up in the Portland area.
I can't imagine going back to the hometown. It's too small.
Yeah, I like Ashland, but I probably won't go back for quite a while. I want to stay up here, buy a property, and tractor.
The only people left in Ashland, I think, that we grew up with, are like a little bit older than us, are like married with kids. Or,
everyone is married with kids. It seems
standing in the bar with their Letterman's jacket on in a big group of other guys with Letterman's jackets on from like 10 years ago.
Oh, we were talking about that like last year or whatever. Just people still living in the past.
It's insane.
Just like
it's a real thing.
Yeah, like they want to go back to high school. Like these jocks and stuff. That was like the pinnacle of their life. Like nothing's ever been better than when they were in high school. Yeah. And now they're getting fat and stuff. And I don't want to say names, but there's a lot of people that like have gained some serious weight.
Not just the weight, dude. Just the mentality alone baffles me. It's insane.
Yeah,
it's
really
those
interesting.
Are the days, man. But
it's like I didn't mind high school. I had fun times, but I'm pretty stoked on life these days. Like having money to buy things is pretty cool.
Dude, just being independent is amazing.
Yeah, not having a super controlling father is also kind of nice. Like I'm a free person these days, so that's.
I thought on your card, Koenigsberg and Sons was you and your dad, but it's you and your dog, who's a girl dog.
Yeah, so Koenigsberg and Sons Horticulture is my tractor business name. It's a real profitable business. $100 made.
Funny.
But it's my son is my female dog, who's named Flapjack. She's a pretty good dog. But this business is a total joke essentially.
That'd be cool. That'd be a cool story if it turned out to be like super successful.
Yeah, I have Craigslist ad and like post some places, and I've gotten like quite a few calls. There's a few people that are waiting for it to dry up some because it's so rainy here, and they like one guy wants his backyard flattened out, and there's another guy who's had his yard recently built, and he wants his yard flattened out. And another guy that has like an acre up, kind of up near here actually, over in Clackamas or something, wants a whole bunch of stuff mowed. But most of it I have no idea what I'm doing, so I'm always a little bit nervous starting out. Like I don't want to freaking dig through someone's water line.
Oh my god!
Like I don't have I was looking at getting insurance and stuff, and they want $300 a month.
That's actually not that bad.
I know, but this isn't my business. I've only made $100 in like 4 months. So it's like I'm not gonna spend $300 a month for something I'm not gonna make any money at. I might as well just not do it.
Yeah.
But it's not really my goal. It's not my goal to like make this into a real thing, make more
It's just
money
kind of
doing other
fun.
things. It's just fun.
But oh, you're still driving Volvos. So your real passion was Volvos, not BMWs, right?
Yeah.
What,
So
Volvos?
back in high school, I had a Volvo. It was pretty cool. It was really beat up. My sister got it backed into when she was in high school. My dad backed into the Volvo himself, backing
Is it
out
the
the
same
driveway.
one?
No, it looks almost the same.
Oh yeah, it looks.
That's not the same one. So I, since I was a mechanical guy, I rebuilt the engine, and then a guy I knew with a Subaru WRX like upgraded his turbo. So I took the old turbo from that, put it on the Volvo, made it really fast, and it was pretty fast because it's a super ugly dented up Volvo, and then it was really fast. So that was fun. Down in the automotive school, I totaled it because I was raging around with my BMW friends and went around a corner and went head on into a Jeep. And then an Audi behind me ran into me, so I was sandwiched between two cars.
Jeez.
I didn't get hurt at all because it's the Volvo tank. I felt pretty bad for the people at the Jeep because they had a little girl with them.
Is there? So I worked at Volvo for 14 months. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Is it true that nobody's ever died in a Volvo?
I'm sure that's not true.
That's something I heard multiple times.
I'm sure that's not true.
Oh, okay.
People die in all sorts of cars.
Yeah.
Maybe it's true. I don't know. They're pretty solid cars, so... yeah, I switched to BMWs for quite a few years, and then just a few months ago, my mom had another old Volvo 240, and it was just in such horrible shape. She was saying just horrible shape, and she was going to give it to charity because it was just horrible. And then I was like, oh, I'll get it from you. She's like, no, you can't even drive it. You can't even leave the house. You're not going to make it up to Portland. There's no way. I'm like, okay. So I bought it from her for $1,000, which is still a pretty good deal for her and me, I guess. And no problem. Started it, drove it back to Portland. And so I've been driving that for the past
With no work?
5 months. No, I've like replaced like a brake light bulb and
What? So what was she
changed the
thinking?
oil. I don't know. My little sister was driving it, and she's kind of a con artist, I guess. So
What does that mean?
she wanted a new car. Like
Betty's
this
here.
car was just really super shitty for her.
Oh, okay.
But anyways,
How does that make her a con artist?
because she was saying it was undrivable. This car is just it's you can't drive it down the freeway. It's gonna pull off the road and
So
crash.
she made your mom buy her a new car or something?
Yep.
Oh,
She
okay.
got and of all cars, she got a PT Cruiser.
Oh my god. Like
Yeah,
the
like
least safe car on the road.
And it's
like
just
the
a
worst
horrible,
car.
hideous, ugly car.
Just time and time again, there's like 6 problems at once.
So she went from like an actual good, reliable car to this PT Cruiser.
But
Anyways,
so helicopters, and what do you want to do? You have the tractor
what's
stuff.
next? You got the helicopters and then you got the tractor. What's step 3? What's stage 3 here?
so
Like if you could just have all the money in the world and be in a position where like where would you want to be? Career wise.
even if I had all the money in the world, I'd still want to grow weed. 'Cause I really enjoy growing. So weed and helicopters don't really mix, so that's why I can't smoke. But I still grow because I just really enjoy it. It's like just taking something that starts out as a seed and then ends up 15 feet tall. Like, it's pretty satisfying.
Botanist Dan. You went from Volvo Dan to Dan the Caveman to Botanist Dan.
Botanist. So I I'll always enjoy the weed stuff. But if I had all the money in the world, I don't know. Just live in some nice big place in the woods or something. Or yeah, I can't determine what would be the best thing in the world, but ideally, like right now, I just keep on doing helicopter stuff, keep growing weed, and start buying properties and flipping properties, and just keep on making my way up the success ladder, the ladder to success.
Awesome. I'm gonna play us out with a little Dan the Caveman outro. If there's anything you want to say, I'm gonna say it before
No.
we play. Say it
think,
before we play it.
Life's all about being happy.
All right. That was Dan the Caveman. Is These are like the credits where we're just throwing a ball at you.
This part's retarded. It's like there's 3 of them. It's just like we're trying way too hard. Hitting the face of the ball, and then we're gonna hit the So stupid.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's funny.
I was way too hot up on myself for that part. Well, I guess that's it.
That's
Yeah,
it.
thanks for coming on the podcast.
Yeah. Farewell.
That was fun.